Hi there, I'm Sashi Krishna, and welcome to my course Macroeconomics, a Modern Money Theory Perspective. We are in part 1 of the course Macroeconomics and Money. In lecture 3, we will answer the question, what is macroeconomics? In microeconomics, we study individual markets. In macroeconomics, we take the level of aggregation higher, where we now have the markets for all goods and services, all forms of labor, and finally, all financial markets. Just like in microeconomics, we try to answer the same 4 questions pertaining to these aggregate markets. But there is one specific aspect which we need to emphasize in macroeconomics. And why does market failure on a grand scale happen? By grand scale, we mean a simultaneous failure across goods and services markets, across labor markets, as well as financial markets. Just as in the case of microeconomics, in macroeconomics too, we pose the same 4 questions relating to the market system. The first question is, how does the market system work? In the case of macroeconomics, we have to incorporate explicitly the role of institutions, for instance, the role of the central bank. We also have to delve deep into the notion of money and the hierarchy of money. The second question that we answer is how well the market system works. But instead of looking at social welfare as the criterion to make our judgment, we look at whether the market economy is able to reach full employment. We then question the reasons for market failure, and there are many, including inherent structural reasons, for instance an aging population, or they could be reasons pertaining to uncertainty which causes investment decisions to fluctuate, and there could be shocks like the oil price shocks of the 1970s, or a stock market crash, or perhaps a pandemic. The final question is, how do we set such market failure right? And there are 2 views. The first, that the market economy is self-adjusting and there is no need for state intervention. The second, that the market system may not be self-adjusting and there is a need for market or rather state interventions. And these state interventions, in the case of macroeconomics, are fiscal and monetary policies. The origin of macroeconomics can be attributed to the British economist John Maynard Keynes. According to Keynes, the microeconomic approach to the study of market systems was inadequate to explain market failure on a grand scale which occurred during the Great Depression. As you can see from this graph here, the GDP of the United States plummeted by almost 40% between 1929 and 1932. At the same time, unemployment rose from a mere 4% up to a maximum of 25% in the same short period. What was the cause of this massive collapse? Keynes argued that the microeconomic approach of studying individual markets was wholly inadequate in understanding this crisis, and therefore there was a need for a new approach to study market failure on a grand scale. And this was the birth of macroeconomics.